Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Robert J. Grimes from Love Life Matters, to present to us on We Are All Energy, Wanting to Create with Abundance. Robert will explain how energy works in and around the body. He will show how disease, physical pain, emotional and mental states can be healed by completing energy circuitry in the body using breathwork, meditation, prayer, nutrition, exercise and counterlateral body poses and movement. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Robert J. Grimes.
But when I was younger, a toddler, when I was lower than the bench top, right, I come up and I was curious about what that red glow, you know the old toasters that opened up like this? I was curious about that, so I picked up a bone handle knife, that's what you used back then, right? And I come up and I went, over I went onto the floor, right? Traumatized. And it did traumatize me. It stopped me from being curious about things, right? Especially when my father come flying in and belted me. I didn't need that. So it had an effect on me. And guess what? After school, at 19 years old, I became an apprentice electrician. And I tell you what, you are lucky to see me here today for me to be alive. In those first 2 years of my 3 years or 4 years apprenticeship, I had many boots, right? Boots is a term that electricians use when you get an electric shock with 240 volts. And I tell you what, one of those shocks went straight through my heart, but lucky I let go. Because normally your muscles tense and you're stuck on it and you're gone, right? But I'm here because there's more for me to do in this life, right? There is a lot more for me to do. So what I want to talk to you about today is around energy. Now, most of us in this room, and we're not here to philosophize or spiritualize around energy here, I'm just going to give you some information, some facts, and also my experience, right? So in some way there is a universal energy, and we give that many different names. Whatever names work for you. You know, God, the divine. But there is this energy, and we also talk about that as spirit. It's the same thing, right? And within our body, we have energy running. So we have electricity running through our body. And when we get that circuitry working well, then that runs and we flow better in life, and there's less things go wrong for us. There is less disease in our body. There is less crazy mindset that goes on within us, right? This mindset we have up here is an ego, right? And another word that I use for it is our protective personality. We all have one. And we need to know how to work with that. In actual fact, we need to get that to work for us, right? Because we are more than our protective personality, right? There is much more to us than that. And the word that I use for that, we have a soulful self, right? And that soulful self it's our energy and it's who we truly are. The reality is our body is just energy compacted together, right? When you think of the whole universe and the cosmos and how it all came together, we are that. And we are that within our body. All our cells and then the mitochondria in our cells that actually create that energy. And we create energy by our diet and our nutrition, the correct foods that we eat. Sometimes, just like me, I don't eat foods that create good energy. Right? We also do have exercise and movement. That is so important to us, to be able to do some sort of exercise, some sort of movement. So just right now, I want you all to stand up. We're not going to do much, but I would just want you to stand up right now. I want you to feel the energy within your body. I want you to shake your hands like that. It's as simple as that. Shake your hands. Keep going. And then stop. And feel your hands and your fingers. What's happening in there? Is there a word? Yes. It's probably even, I get tingling, right? And I can feel that tingle. You can sit down now. So that's what movement does. It creates energy, and it gets that energy to flow within our body. We all need that. And there's different forms of energy. You can do really intense. You can do other movement and other sort of exercise. But our body, our energy needs that, right? So also we have sleep and relaxation. We need to be able to recuperate. And if we don't get our sleep and relaxation right, our energy is not going to flow, because we need that downtime for that energy to come and be there where this is not taking us off somewhere else and sabotaging that energy coming in and stopping that circuitry within your body, right? So then the fourth one is our mindset. We all know about mindset. We know about that even in business, having a good mindset. Not necessarily, I don't like the words positive and negative, but I'm going to use them, right? We can have a positive mindset and we can have a negative mindset. And a negative mindset is when our protective personality starts to spiral us down into like, oh, I'm no good, I'm not good enough. And the biggest thing for me that I've had to learn with is the energy state of fear. It's been massive for me in my life to be able, even when I share that right now, I feel it, right? Because of where I've come from, because of that toaster incident, and when my father came and belted me one, right, I've had to deal with a whole lot of stuff there, and to face that fear and then turn that around. And what I do is that apart from those 4 areas that I just talked to you about, here's the one that is the ultimate of getting that energy circuitry working within your body, and that is breath work. We had Mark doing a little bit of breath work there to actually get through that introduction. So it is essential that we do that. And guess what? You guys know that if you stop breathing for 5 minutes, you are no longer in this body of yours. You're gone. You're gone. Your body is still there, but yes, it's going to decompose after a while because the energy's gone. It's gone somewhere else, right? So breath work is essential. And if you're in business, if you're not doing some breath work, whatever that might mean for you, and there's many different ways of doing that, you are not getting that circuitry working within your body, because the essence is you are breath. You are the breath, right? That's the energy that comes in. Yes, we get the energy from those other 4 areas as well, but this is the essential one. And what I want to show you right now is, or before that, some of you may have heard about Bruce Lipton and epigenetics. Like, he started in Newtonian biology, and then he discovered in a petri dish on how that cell there can be changed and created by an energy, right? So that's exactly the same in us, because we've got these microcosms in this macrocosm, and we need to be aware of that within our body, our cells in our body, and our mitochondria, those little power packs that are within there. that love getting that breath work coming in. All right, so what I want to just quickly show you now, I'm not going to do a process. Thanks, Julian. I'm not going to do a process right now, but I'm just going to show you something where some of you may have heard of muscle testing and kinesiology. Put your hand up if you've heard of muscle testing. Yeah, cool. So our muscles and the energy in our muscles or not in our muscles does not lie, right? But I know from me having muscle testing, this here will want to counteract what the truth of that energy that's going on in my body, right? So if we can get the physical, right, and the mental and the breath work going at the same time, you're going to change your body and you're going to change your energy. So just very quickly, because Julian's given me the 2-minute thing over here, is that there's one pose or one counterlateral movement that can happen while we do breathing. And what I call it is central channel breathing. While we do that, and we have an affirmation which possibly will come up in our subconscious and come up through muscle testing. And what I do is with people is that I do it's like a warrior pose, right? And so when you have, and you do this 4 times, but I'm only going to do it once now to show you, right? You're out like this, you put both hands up here, and then you take the opposite hand to the back, right? So, so this leg's out, this hand comes back. And when you do that, you'll feel your heart energy center open here, right? It'll open up. And then when you do this, then when you move over like this, and you close your right eye and you look up at your thumb, and you have a positive affirmation that happens right now, and you breathe through the central channel, you will change that energy within your body. That is what happens. I've proven it myself. But you need to do all of those together, and that's why I help people to do that, and many more other breath work. So thank you all. Thank you for listening. And is there any questions? You got any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, I'll hit you with a question.
Yeah.
Just to engage.
Yeah, sure.
So doing that last pose that you just did,
Yep.
What is it that opens the block? What is it about that pose, closing that eye, looking at that thumb,
Yes.
that makes that possible?
Yeah. It's, for starters, it's giving the brain and the mind something to do so it doesn't sabotage out of the situation, right? So you're having to think, all right, with that. And then if you're central channel breathing, you're breathing through, you use your mind as an imagination, and you breathe down through all your channels, down to the earth and back up again. And you can swap over in this area here, which is, I call the Mula Bandha, right? And you swap it over and then you come back up again. And then when you have the affirmation at the same time, it just goes clunk, and it brings that subconscious into your conscious and into your awareness, and it actually changes the energy in the body. Because our emotional states, what is driving our emotional states is the lack of energy flowing in our body. So, hope that answered that, Sasha. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Tony.
How are you doing this? Like, would you do this like 3 times a day, or just when
You're right. Ideally 3 times a day. I do it once a day, as well as meditation, right? And then well as getting on my mountain bike as well, and eating some good food, right? And that's why my hair's gone black and it's no longer grey. No, just kidding. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.